is from Woman Race Class by Angela Davis. In 1914, Anita Whitney joined the Socialist Party. Despite her party's posture of relative indifference towards the black people's struggles, she readily supported anti-racist causes. When the San Francisco Bay Area chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People was founded, Whitney enthusiastically agreed to serve as a member of its executive committee. Having identified with the positions of left-wing members of the Socialist Party, she joined those who established the Communist Labor Party in 1919. Shortly thereafter, this group merged with the Communist Party USA. 1919 was the year of the infamous anti-communist raids initiated by Attorney General A. Mitchell Palmer. Anita was destined to become one of the many victims of the Palmer raids. She was informed that a speech she was scheduled to deliver before clubwomen associated with the Oakland Center of the California Civic League had been banned by the authorities. But despite the official prohibition, she spoke on November 28, 1919, about the Negro problem in the United States. Her remarks were sharply focused on the issue of lynching. In 1890, when our statistics have their beginning, there have occurred in these United States 3,228 lynchings, 2,500 of colored men, and 50 of colored women. I would that I could leave the subject with these bare facts recording numbers, but I feel that we must face all the barbarity of the situation in order to do our part in blotting this disgrace from our country's record. She went on to pose a question to the audience of white clubwomen. Did they know that a colored man once said that if he owned hell in Texas, he would prefer to rent out Texas and live in hell? His reasoning, she explained in a serious vein, was based on the fact that Texas could claim the third largest number of racist mob murders committed throughout the southern states. Only Georgia and Mississippi could boast of more. In 1919, it was still something of a rarity for a white person to appeal to others of her race to stand up against the scourge of lynching. The generalized racist propaganda and the repeated evocation of the mythical black rapist in particular had resulted in desired division and alienation. Even in progressive circles, white people were often hesitant to speak out against lynchings, since they were justified as unfortunate reactions to black sexual attacks against white womanhood in the South. Anita Whitney was one of those white people whose vision remained clear despite the power of the prevailing racist propaganda, and she was willing to risk the consequences of her anti-racist stance. Although it was clear that she would be arrested, she chose to speak about lynching to the white Oakland's clubwoman. Sure enough, she was taken into custody at the conclusion of her speech and was charged by authorities with criminal syndicalism. Whitney was later convicted and sentenced to San Quentin Prison, where she spent several weeks before her release on appeal bond. It was not until 1927 that Anita Whitney was pardoned by the governor of California. As a 20th century white woman, Anita Whitney was indeed a pioneer in the struggle against racism. Together with her black comrades, she and others like her would forge the Communist Party's strategy for working class emancipation. In this strategy, the fight for black liberation will be a central ingredient. In 1936, Anita Whitney became the state chairperson of the Communist Party of California and was elected soon thereafter to serve on the party's national committee. Once she was asked, Anita, how do you regard to the Communist Party? What has it come to mean to you? Why? She smiled incredulously, a bit taken aback by such an amazing question. Why, it has given purpose to my life. The Communist Party is the hope of the world. Very tired, but fight racism. Don't give up. Be strong, friends. God bless.